to talk about something very different. We just had elections. We're kind of rebooting, in a way, California's LP. In many cases, we begin to reboot and change and shift. Many of you are from local affiliates. You are from areas you're trying to reboot and think differently and change. Of course you are. And usually we make a mistake. And the mistake is we start to organize. You might be laughing at me when I say that. But I'm serious. That's a mistake. If you start to organize, here's what happens. I need somebody to do X, somebody to be the chair of Y, someone to fix this, someone to take this position. People begrudgingly accept it. The other people watching around are bored. Then they're all supposed to do stuff. And a month later, no one cares anymore. People stop showing up. Things begin to collapse. Why? Why? Why does it happen almost every single time? No one knows why? So I'm glad I'm here then. Because there's no mission. Because there is no mission. Organize second, mission first. You might say, but Larry, I'm the chair of this organization, or I'm the boss, or I'm the top dog. So I need to let everybody know what my mission is, and I then have to communicate it well so that they'll all get behind me. You are wrong. You are the chair of your local affiliate. You are not the president of that company. You are the chair of that local affiliate. You are not the king of your new fiefdom. You are the chair of that affiliate. And there's a difference. We always think, well, Larry, I know how business works, so I'm going to run this place like a business. That is yet also a mistake. This is not a business. The people around you are not your employees. You have no power over them. They are volunteers. This is a passion project. This is not a business. What I need more than anything in any of these organizations is not someone to go, fine, I'll do it. I need people to say, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I'm in. I will take ownership of this thing, of this project. Yes, I'll do that. How do we do that? We do that by the first thing I do. If I'm the new chair of the new party or the chair of this or the boss of this, whatever I am, I'm going to ask for the mission. I'm not going to get in front of you and say, all right, let me tell you what my mission is. Here's what I plan to achieve. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody get behind me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask a very important question when I get that first meeting. And that important question is, why are we here? I'm not joking when I say that question. Why are we here? Let me ask you that question. Besides delicious food, and besides want to see how handsome I am, which is true, why are you here? I'm sorry? I am that handsome, that's true. Besides that, is there, say again? And this there, love it. Anybody else? And sexy, I am that too, yes, but no. And this, more freedom, I love that. So let me ask you, how do you define end the state? Give me one thing we can do to end the state. Abolish the IRS. Give me one thing we can do to be more free. Abolish the ATF. There we go. So we got two things. So I now have a mission. Abolish the IRS, abolish the ATF. Now I have a mission. Now I can organize. Because now we start saying, okay, what must we do to abolish the IRS? We must figure this out, figure that out, figure the other thing out. We must begin to figure things out. And now people say, well, I can do this, I can do that, and they're taking ownership of these ideas. They're taking ownership of these projects. There is now a reason for us to meet again, a reason for us to chat again. So now when I send out my second email blast, so I can get my second, meeting for the next month, I don't go, monthly LP meeting, which is boring, no one cares about, no one shows up to. But I say, how do we abolish the IRS? Let's have a conversation. Meeting is next Tuesday. Now people start showing up because I'm about that. How do I know I'm about that? I said it in the meeting. Other people heard it. They nodded and went, yes. So now they start showing up. In addition, we're talking about how to abolish the ATF. Now we're figuring this out. There is a reason to meet. Remember, these people are not your employees. They don't have to show up. They have a life of things to do. They need to want to show up. Give them a reason to show up to your event. Give them a reason to show up to your meeting. Tell them what you're going to do. And then ask them what they can do the next meeting. What I'm trying to do is not assign tasks. That is not the right thing in this regard. What am I trying to do? Assign responsibilities. But they're voluntary responsibilities that you agree to. If we are now in our meeting right now, and he started with the IRS, what can we do? And he goes, we got to come up with a cool tax plan for our local place. All right, good. Can you spearhead that? Yes, that's his responsibility. Did I say he has to write it? Did I say that? No. Did I say that? No, I said he has to spearhead it. Find the right people who want to do it. Okay, who can help him write this tax policy? Oh, you can? Awesome. He volunteered. He volunteered. I now have 2 people who have ownership of the responsibility of this new tax plan for our local area to help abolish the IRS. All right, the ATF, what can we do for that? Gun groups. So now we got to have gun groups. Now we have to have a gun group event, don't we? Who can spearhead the gun group event? Oh, you can? Who can help out? Who knows? Boom. Now I am energizing my people. They are moving forward. There's a reason to show up next month and the month after. And now we even have an event on the calendar. Let's put it on the calendar. When are we doing the gun event? Doing the gun event on the 15th? Wonderful. Now we have an event on the calendar. Event on the calendar, people doing it. When's tax policy done by? This time, boom, we're moving forward. This is what must happen if you are a chair of a local party. It is mission first, organize second. If you don't create your mission, you are going to stumble. If you don't create your mission, the people are gonna stop showing up. If you don't give them a reason to show up, they will not show up. And it'll be you and 2 people at your event, and that you're not, I see heads nodding already, yes. You and 2 people who keep showing up and yelling at people who don't show up, hoping they will show up because you yell at them. This is not a business. This is a passion project. This is not about what you want. It's about what we want. You are the chair, not the king, not the queen, not the president, not the CEO. It is a different way of leading. If you don't lead it well, you will watch people stop showing up. But there's something more important. So now it is the next month. And Lars told me he was going to do that tax thing. And he didn't. He didn't do it. Shows up, didn't do it. What am I going to do now? What usually happens? Lars, you suck. You said blah, blah, blah. That's what usually happens, right? Now he's mad. He never shows up again. Well, because I'm the boss, and I got to yell at my employee. But he's not my employee, and I'm not the boss. So I have no right to yell at him. He's a volunteer who wants to help, who didn't do what he said he was going to do. So I must think of a very important idea. And this idea is removing blame, but assigning responsibility. There is a difference. If I blame him, he is angry at me, he will not come back. If I blame him, he will tell the others what a jerk I am, and they will stop coming back. But if I simply say, Lars, you told me you were gonna, how do we fix this? And he will blame someone else. He'll say, Spike said he was gonna do it, but Spike didn't, and Spike won't listen to me. He'll blame somebody else. Now I can now get mad at him and yell at Spike, Spike, why are you such a bad guy? Now I'm get mad at him, Spike leaves, he's off the hook, lose. Or I can say, Lars, it's fine, he didn't do it, whatever. It's your responsibility, man. Come on, let's get it done. If Spike's not the right guy, find somebody else. I'm not blaming him. I'm not even blaming Spike. I don't care whose fault it is. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I'm not here to be righteous. My righteousness doesn't get the job done. It makes me feel better when I can go back and go, I yell at those guys. I feel better. The job doesn't get done. I just go back to law and say, dude, you said it. I'm not saying I ordered him because I have no right to order him. I'm saying he said it. Therefore, he must be congruent in what he said, and it's his responsibility to make it happen. At this point, 1 or 2 things begins to happen. 1, he goes, you're right, Larry, I'll take care of it. Option 1. Option 2, Larry, I can't handle this, which means he self-selected himself out. I didn't throw him out. I didn't bully him out. I didn't get mad, and now we're fighting. He says, dude, I'm too busy, I can't do it. Okay, thank you. We're good. Now I ask Spike, come on, brother, can you fix this now for me? And Spike steps up. Spike never liked Lars anyway. That's true. He never liked him anyway. So now Spike steps up, and he begins to take care of it. Again, I asked him. I'm asking for volunteers. Spike now agrees. He feels bad. He gets it done for me. Yeah, I delayed a month. It's true. I delayed a month. That's true. But now it's getting done. He says, I have 2 missions, even though Spike's job isn't going well. Yours is. Because you actually did what you said. And now we're working on the gun groups. And now what's happening? Things are happening. If things aren't happening in your affiliate, no one is going to show up. Things need to happen. Now, I know some of you are going to say, Larry, we tried it. And we did an event, and 2 people showed up. So we decided to not do it anymore. That was your mistake. That was your mistake. Here's the reality. Almost always, when you try something new, it will fail. Almost always. There's some exceptions. You get lucky. Does happen. But almost always it fails. So the first event you do is going to suck. You should expect that. So the first event we do is going to suck. I got it. It's going to suck. 2 people are going to show up, blah, blah, blah. But now you do it again. So we tried your idea. I don't go, that was a dumb idea. I don't do that because now you're mad at me. You don't show up anymore. I've now lost you. Well done on my point. I'm the tyrant of the world, and I'm by myself, right? But instead I go, okay, what did we learn? What can we do better? How can we fix it next time? Do we need 1 more month, 2 more months for the next one? And now she's like, oh, he's not even mad. We're learning. Yeah, what do we do next? And she goes, well, you know what happened? We didn't promote it enough time. We needed 6 weeks, not 3. All right, let's go 6 weeks, do it again. Now what begins to happen? The people in the room start going, they're serious. She's serious. The people who are watching go, they're serious. And now you who were sitting on the sidelines going, whatever, you go, you know what? I'm in. And now he helps. He was watching as he thought, I've been in this party for 10 years. We never do nothing. He's that guy. You know that guy. You've been that guy. Right? But now when we keep doing it, he goes, you know what? This is different. I'm in now. Now he jumps in to help. Not just that. The people who tried the first time and it failed, they were laughing. They thought you'd never do it again. They see you do it again. When they see us do it again, what do they assume? The first one was successful. They didn't see the first one. They didn't pay attention. They didn't care. But now we're doing the second one. And they go, oh, that must have worked. I'm going to go to that one too. So now we get 4 people a show or 6 people. And we try it again. And eventually we hit that amount where now we got 50 people showing, 100 people showing. The problem is we quit too early when we fail. We get angry at that and we blame. Let me say this one more time. I haven't said enough. This is not a business. The people around us are not employees. This is a passion project. They need to volunteer and have ownership. Blame is irrelevant. Responsibility is key. Let people self-select themselves out. They will. They will go, I thought it was going to be easy because I've been doing this for 10 years and we've been doing nothing. And I get to have this cool title and do nothing for 10 years. And all of a sudden now you're here and we got to do stuff. I don't want to do stuff. I just want a cool title. If I got to do stuff, I'm out. And that's a good thing. Let them go. They just wanted to have a cool title. They don't want to do stuff. So they'll walk away. Thank you very much. I'm going to go. And someone else will pop up who says, I want a cool title and I want to do stuff. We need people who want to do stuff. Let me add to this on top of this. You might go, Larry, but wait a minute. If I let these people go do stuff, they might do the wrong stuff. And how do I define the wrong stuff? Stuff I don't like. That's how I define the wrong stuff. Stuff I don't like. I don't care if you like it. Let me say it again. If you're the chair or the boss or the leader, I don't care if you don't like it. It is irrelevant if you like it or not. Action is more important than failed action. I must do something than not do something. If we do it and fail, we'll keep going. If we stop doing it, we'll do nothing. Let your people go. I'm going to give you something crazy that I did in my own campaign. Now, I learned this the hard way, by the way. When I first ran my 2018 campaign, I still thought run it like a business. And for those of you who watched my 2018 campaign, it wasn't really a good campaign till maybe the last 4 months of the campaign. Then it was killing it. Prior to that, it was good compared to many libertarian campaigns, but it wasn't rocking and rolling. We had issues, trouble, problems all the time. Why? Because I was testing out all the time, letting people do things to the best of their ability. People were leaving, coming back, and by the time we got about 6 months into the campaign, it was actually rocking and rolling. But there was 6 to 8 months of growing pains. I had to accept those growing pains. Why? Because it's a passion project. And when I tried running it like I was the boss, people didn't respond. Things didn't go well. When I ran it like a passion project, all of a sudden people came in out of everywhere. They helped, they supported, they went out of their way because it was a passion project. You as the leader of this, whatever it is, this affiliate, this campaign, your goal is one important thing. You must be the center of purpose. That is your actual goal. If you are the chair, if you are the candidate, if you are the whatever, your goal is to be the center of purpose. You are the reason why they show up, or you provide them a reason to show up. That's the most critical piece you are. If you're the candidate, you are the reason they show up. If you are the chair, you provide a reason for them to show up. Otherwise, they don't show up. So give them a reason to show up. The more you do this, the better you'll get at it. The more you provide purpose, the more they'll do it. You might say, but Larry, wait a minute. I don't want someone to do this thing. I want them to do that thing. Well, if you want to do that thing, they will do nothing. Would you rather them do nothing? And that's really what you got to think. Is the thing they want to do worse than nothing? If it is, try and dissuade them. Yes, try and dissuade them. If it isn't, let it go. But Larry, it'll be a waste of time. No, it won't. They'll do stuff. Them doing stuff is by default good. Because if it fails and you're not a jerk about it, they'll now do the thing you want them to do. Voluntarily, without you yelling at them or calling them names or pushing them away. Or they'll learn something and show even what you wanted to do was wrong. They have a better idea, but they're doing stuff. One of the things I learned running for office is what motivated people to go out and do things for me. Watching me do stuff. Literally. For those of you who watched my campaign in 2018, I spent a lot of time out in front of people just doing stuff. Shaking hands, talking, being in someplace, doing stuff. And people would watch me do stuff and go, oh, I should do stuff too. He's doing stuff. I should do stuff. It's literally that simple. If they care about the movement or the purpose that you care about, and if they're in your campaign or in your local affiliate, they clearly care. Or they wouldn't be there. So they care. They see you doing stuff, even wrong stuff, just doing stuff. They'll start doing stuff too. This is a passion project. If you think I should be the chair or the candidate because I can organize well, you are wrong. Let me repeat that. If you think you should be the chair or you should be the candidate because you can organize well, you are wrong. That's not the reason to be. It's because you can provide purpose. Can you do that? If you can do that, that's the reason to be chair. That's the reason to be the candidate, because you can provide purpose. You can find people to run things. People run things every day. Most of us run our lives pretty well. Some not so much. But most of us, too, run our lives pretty well. So we can run things. And running things is important. But why are you going to run something with no purpose? Purpose is the key. Mission is the key. Forget blame, responsibility. You can move forward. Get things to go forward so that people will do things. Because once you get bodies on board to do things, now you can find that message. Now you can get things done. Now you can get in the press. Now you can get votes. Now you can change the law. Now you can adjust the taxes. You can do all the things only if people show up and if they do stuff. Everything else is a colossal waste of time. Everything else burns us out. Because here's the most important part to realize. We, because we're so small, have a severe lack of talent. Not because we aren't talented, because there aren't enough of us to fill all the roles that need to be filled. There aren't enough of us. You might be the best candidate manager in the world. I need 200 of you. Right? I need 200 of you. So you're great, awesome. So now you help her run, awesome. I got 900 people to help. We don't have enough talent. And if we stop pushing people away, we are shooting ourselves in the foot. And if he is the best talent, if he's the best campaign manager in the world, he wasn't at one point. At one point, he sucked. He was new. He did it enough times. He became good at it. How am I going to get the farm team up if I'm pushing anybody away who fails? I need them to get up, start doing it well. So now I do have 100 of him. I need 100 of him, not one. We can't push them away. But worse, now because he's the greatest campaign manager, what do? Okay, run 5 campaigns. You've seen that, you're laughing. You've seen it. You're good at the thing, so do it for 75 people. Well, unless I'm gonna pay you and for your time to pay your bills, that's all volunteer work. I'm burning you out. And now when I burn him out, he leaves and there's nobody to fill his shoes. How many times have we seen that before? Burnout is a real thing in our party. It is a real thing. Candidate burnout, donor burnout, volunteer burnout, staff burnout. It is a real thing. We don't want to make it worse. Let's stop pushing people away, leave them in here, give them responsibility, let them self-select. It is literally libertarian leadership. If we do it that way, we'll have better groups, better campaigns, and we'll have better local affiliates. Thank you so much. So I'm happy to take any questions or comments. Go ahead, Mr. Mike. Yes? I like But Larry. But Larry's amazing. That is. You are correct. Hold on a second. Can I raise this up a little bit? There we go. Yes, his question was, but Larry, if we invite too many people into the party, many of them don't agree with what we agree. You're right. And I'll give you a quick story. This is true for me. It's probably 2013, maybe in that area. I'm relatively new to the local New York City Libertarian Party. Those of you who don't know, I live in New York City. So I go to one of my local affiliates, and not many people show up. But one young guy shows up, probably 19, 20, a college kid. He shows up, and he's like, hey, I heard about you libertarians. It's great. I just had a question. You guys don't, like, hate NASA, do you? That's what he said. So he liked our ideas, but said, you don't hate NASA, do you? Now, what do you think we did? Yeah, we didn't yell, get out of here. But we almost did. We began to beat him up on how dumb NASA is, how what a waste of money it is, why SpaceX and stuff is better, private market, do it better, blah, 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 blah. He never came back. Never came back. Never saw that guy again. And I watched that, and I still remember that. It's almost 10 years ago. I still remember that. I was like, wow, that's who we are. That's terrible. I almost didn't want to come back, and it wasn't even me. And I didn't want to come back. What should we have done? Just said, great, why are you here? And he might have said, because the Fed sucks. Yeah, it does. Sit down. Let's talk about the Fed. Let's talk about NASA later. Let's talk about the Fed now. That's why you're here. Let's talk about that. So you're right, they won't. But I didn't either. You and I have a common bond in this case, Spike. We weren't libertarians before. Now, I've never been a member of a political party, but some of you may not know this. I was in the Marine Corps for many years. And I was that 19-year-old kid who wore the shirt, literally, who wore the shirt that said, kill them all, let God sort them out. I was that guy who was all about state violence. I was literally the enforcer. I was a Marine on the ground side. I was the guy they were going to send to go kill them all, right? And I was prepared and happy to do that. I believe my first commander-in-chief was Ronald Reagan. Tells you how old I am. So I was my first commander-in-chief. But Ronald Reagan said, those are the bad guys. I believed him. Because Ronald Reagan said those are the bad guys, and they're worthy of being killed. So let's go kill them. I was okay with that. I have changed since then. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like that happened overnight. I didn't understand how things worked. I was a kid, eventually learning what was going to happen. It took me time to come here. When I first heard Gary Johnson speak in 2012, I'm serious, I thought he was a radical. Some of you were laughing, but I did. I thought Gary Johnson was a radical. This guy's insane. What's he do? Oh my God, he's radical. I am far more radical than Gary Johnson is now. Right? Far more. But then, because that's where my head was, right? And the party had the glory of Gary Johnson. I love Gary Johnson. I support him completely. I will always support him. I will always love him because he got me into the party. Is that he was where I was, if that makes any sense, right? That's where my brain was to hear the message, which is why you will always hear me say, give any message, all the messages, because people are at different points. And some people will hear this, some will hear that, some will hear this. Me, I heard Gary Johnson. right? It's funny. I couldn't hear Ron Paul in 2008. I couldn't hear him. I wasn't ready to hear him. So I couldn't. And a lot of people I know came Ron Paul 2008. I couldn't hear him. I wasn't there. I wasn't there till 2012. That's when I was there, and Gary Johnson got me in. Some people came in from other people. Who cares? Maj or whoever you come in from. But we need to bring anybody in. And to your point, if they want to come in, let them in. Let them in. Here's the issue. They'll stay with us for a year or so, and one or two things will happen. They'll go back realizing this was a phase for them, or they'll become more radical. That's how it works every time. Let them in, let them be with us. So yes, you are correct, but the point is we're not there. All of us aren't there at different points. Let people come in whenever they want to come in. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying let somebody come in from Democrat Republican Party 2 weeks before convention and be our presidential nominee. I am not saying that. But am I saying should we let anyone who is popular join our party? Sure, join our party. But you don't have to be our nominee. Join our party, go in the trenches with us, fight with us, watch us fight, watch us fail. And if you're still with us a year later, now let's talk being a candidate, right? But let's wait till you stay with us for a year, fight our fights, watch us get beat up, and still sit here with us, then we can talk about you being a candidate. I'm okay with that, even though they aren't perfect. There's lots of people I take in this party that aren't perfect. But if they're popular, other people will come. And they'll either stay for a year, realize it's a fad and leave, we'll keep some of their people, or they'll stay and be one of us, which is awesome either way. So you are correct, I agree, and we should let them in. It doesn't mean they should be leading things. There is my caveat. Come in, learn, come in, be with us. If we don't accept them in, we cannot grow. Let me say it again. If we don't accept them in, we cannot grow. And that lack of talent is going to keep stifling us. Lots of Democrats, Republicans, they know the system very well. If we can convert them, oh my God, we gain that talent. Second piece, if you're a former Republican, you probably know how to talk to Republicans. Bring more of them in. If you are a former Democrat, you probably know how to bring Democrats in because you can talk to them. Bring them in. So every time we convert somebody, they're able to talk to somebody like them from the past. It is win, win, win. Did I answer your question? Excellent. Go ahead. Yep. Yes, nobody wants to come, yes. Yes, it is backwards. Yes, she said, I put out and say next meeting coming up and nobody wants to show up. And then she goes, if we get enough people, we'll do stuff. That's like the beatings will continue until morale improves, right? So let's please do stuff. I don't care if it fails. I know this is the hardest part. It probably will. But at least now you can tell people why it failed. It would have been good if we had 3 more bodies. Really? We just need 3 more bodies. I can get 3 bodies. Done. We do it again. And we do it right this time. 100%. I remember this, one quick story. When I was on campaign in 2018, some of you saw some of the rallies I had in 2018. I had hundreds of people at some of my rallies. It was great. My first campaign official meeting was in 2017. It was in Broome County, New York. That's where it was. I literally went to a diner. One guy showed up. One. And he began the conversation with, this was his opener, talking to me. Hi, when did you realize 9/11 was an inside job? That was his opener. That wasn't, hi, how are you? My name is. That was his open. We had lunch. That was my first campaign meeting. I would count that as probably a failure. But I didn't stop. I kept going until all of a sudden now I was getting dozens of people at every stop, hundreds of people at stops. I kept going. I started a year and a half early. So it's okay to fail. It's not okay to stop. Go ahead. Yes. Yep. Thank you for bringing that up. For those of you who don't, the question was, how do I feel about Howard Stern? For those of you might remember, Howard Stern in the 1990s decided to become the Libertarian Party nominee by forcing his way into New York State. New York State did not have what we literally now call the Howard Stern rule. I'm not joking. It's called the Howard Stern rule. Howard Stern busted a bunch of people into our convention, paid the $25 fee, had them all vote. We had no bylaws or anything to stop it. It was totally legal. He got them in. They all became members. They all voted. He became our nominee. And we were like, ah. And then he dropped out, screwed us all over. It was terrible. Terrible. We then created the Howard Stern rule, which you had to be a member 45 days prior to that convention to vote in the convention. That was the Howard Stern rule we created, so that you couldn't just do that. You had to at least prep before you screwed us. Right? You had to at least prep first. So yes, we did that. How do I feel about that? If Howard Stern wants to join the Libertarian Party, yes, happy to have him in. But I go back to what I just said. No, don't run for anything. You want to become a member and talk about it on your radio show? You want to hang out with us and come to a fundraiser? You want to be part of us? Come on out, man. I'm happy to take anybody if you want to join the party. But you want to step up and take our line? No. No. We have to, and we've been bad at this as a party. We have to have more homegrown libertarians running for office. We are better at it than we've been in a long time. Much better. An example I'll give is a man who's sitting here right now, and that's Spike. If you go back 10, 20 years, most of our candidates who ran for major office, they ran, you never saw them again. They ran, you never saw them again. They didn't come to the convention, they didn't do anything. They walked away. I ran, thanks for the line, guys. And they walked away, we never saw them again. That was the norm. But Spike ran, he's still here. Still here. Still showing up, still doing the work, still here. Which means now we have more people that, a lot of you know people who've run and are still here. They didn't just go back to Republicans or back to Democrats. So we have to be better at building homegrown. But if they want to come in, I welcome all of them. All come in, join, pay your dues, be with us, see who we are. And within a year, one of the things will happen. They'll go, not for me, and they'll go back to their old party. Thank you for coming. Some of your people will stay. But they'll give us press. Other people will see us. I'll take it. Or they'll turn and become one of us, in which case, a year or two later, run for something. Once you're one of us, I'm good. Run. I don't mind. But be with us first. Did I answer your question? Excellent. Good. Any other questions or comments about what I talked about? The reason why I bring this up is because consistently I see people begin to organize and they get angry when things don't work. And then that anger pushes more people away. And that anger brings in more division. And I want you to realize something. This is a volunteer society right here. You're not their boss. They're not your employees. If you want to start paying everybody, do what you got to do. If you got the cash, you want to start writing checks to people, go ahead. I hope you can do it. I hope you're all independently wealthy and want to write all your checks. Please write checks. If you're writing checks, make contracts, make them do stuff. No problem. But if you're not writing checks to everybody around you, they're doing it because they care. Don't make it hard for them to care. Make it easy to care. And I'll go one step further. Make it easy for them to come back. Let me say it again. Make it easy for them to come back. Because every time we have a problem in this party, people do the same thing. I'm leaving, never coming back. To hell with the LP. There's no place else. You're coming back. Please stop fooling yourself. Please just stop. You're coming back. You're coming back next year, 5 years, 2 years, whatever. You're coming back. There's no place else. This is your home. Stop fooling yourself. You're coming back. Once you're one of us, you're one of us. You're coming back. So you make it easy for them to come back. An example we have in New York. If we ever expel anybody, and we do that sometimes, this happens. We have a rule that anyone we expel can reapply in a year. There's no such thing as a lifetime expulsion. Does not exist in my state. Doesn't exist. If we expel anybody, they can reapply in a year. Why do we do that? Some people would never take him back. But I'm just saying, they still have the option to reapply, and it shows that we are open to people changing and coming back. I'm not saying you should have that rule. I'm saying that's the environment you should have. That if someone sees they made a mistake, they should come back, make it easy to come back. Forgiveness is so important. Redemption is so important. If someone comes back and they come back on your terms, they will come back with the vigor. And if you don't take that vigor, the D's and the R's will take it. The D's or the R's will take it. And we don't want that. We want that vigor. We need the bodies. We don't have enough talent. Does that make sense, everybody? So no more blame, responsibility. This is not a business. It's a passion project. Stop ordering people to do stuff. Ask for volunteers and hold them responsible, not blamed. And make sure it's easy for someone to show up, easy for them to care, and easy to come back when they leave. Your goal as a leader is not to set the mission. Your goal is to provide the purpose. If you are the candidate, you are the center of purpose. If you are the chair, you create the purpose. Give people a reason to show up, they will. Let them go and do things. Let them go and fail. As long as they learn, take responsibility, and do it again. Let them fail 85 times. I don't care. 100 times. Learn your lesson, do it again. Keep going. Because if they're doing stuff, other people will do stuff. And the goal of this entire movement is to do stuff. Not to just be here and yell at each other. It's to do stuff. If you can't get people to do stuff, you shouldn't be leading. Support someone who can. I'm very serious. Support someone who can. If you're not the guy or gal who can get people to do stuff, support somebody who can, and don't be mad because they don't organize well. Organize well for them. Organize well for them. Let them be the front person that motivates people to show up. Let them be the front person that motivates people to do stuff, and then you help them organize because they suck at it. And you're good at it. You do that, we'll have more results. Any further questions? Guys, thank you so much. I'm here for selfies. Thank you.